Tonight on Dick Gruesome Presents, we have a truly epic matchup between Marc Maron and Dave Chappelle coming up next. I'm Dick Gruesome of Dick Gruesome Presents, and tonight we'll be discussing a video Marc Maron posted on his Instagram. But before that, I want to do a little backstory about Dave Chappelle and Marc Maron, just to help explain what's about to occur. Marc Maron was born in '63, right? Chappelle was born in '73. Coincidence? No, probably not. Despite Dave Chappelle being 10 years younger than Marc Maron, they achieved, I don't want to say success, but exposure around the same time. I mean, in '93, Men in Tights came out.
Time out! Excuse me, bad guys. I am running out of air. Gotta get pumped.
We didn't really know who Chappelle was, but I mean, 8-year-old me loved it. And a couple of years later, I think Maron, I saw him on like an HBO comedy half hour.
I never learned anything on a good trip. Do you understand what I'm saying? All the lessons I ever learned were on shitty bad trips.
You know, they're in the same class, so to speak, right? Marc Maron does respect Dave Chappelle, and we can prove this because he sent out a tweet in 2013 asking Dave Chappelle to come on his podcast. Dave Chappelle would not respond. Marc Maron also hates Joe Rogan, which is completely understandable. And there's an inexplicable relationship between Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan. So they're buds. Maron hates Rogan, ipso facto. And I want to preface this with, Marc Maron's an emotional dude, right? Like, he is a drug addict, he can't drink, he can't even smoke a joint, because he might get triggered into buying a bag of meth and exposing George Bush for being a warmonger. Who knows, right? Anything could happen. So he's on edge most of the time. So I just want to put that out there and, little thing about Marc. So let's watch that clip.
I already talked about Dave Chappelle. I have not seen the last special or the last 3 specials. From what I glean, he decided it was, just high time. There was an urgency to discussing the trans community because I guess they've just had it so easy for too long, apparently. That there were some really important things that needed to be talked about by a straight man with a lot of money who's getting older and more conservative. And I think probably a little more boring. Am I getting it right?
Fucking mint, right? So the whole reason I'm even talking about this is for the first thing that Maron says. I haven't seen Dave Chappelle's special. I haven't seen his last 3 specials. Okay, well then probably don't have an opinion then, right? Why even talk about it? And why have such a well-formed opinion about it too? He goes on for like 6-7 minutes about it. Also, I want everyone to note Marc's bitchy tone during this. It's very bitchy.
From what I glean, he decided it was, just high time. There was an urgency to discussing the trans community.
From what I glean, it was just high time to discuss the trans community. Yes, Marc, it is. They're able to be discussed. Especially coming from a comedian, this is the shit that I don't fucking understand. We should be allowed to discuss and say things. What are you talking about? Like, they can't even be talked about? They're Voldemort now?
Straight man with a lot of money.
Yes, like you, Marc. You might not have as much money as Dave Chappelle, but you still are far better off than 80% of the people living today. And then he says,
who's getting older and more conservative. And I think probably a little more boring. Am I getting it right?
And probably more boring. Yes, probably, because you haven't seen it. And more boring, no, that was probably the most exciting thing anyone's seen in the last 2 years, Marc. You're making a carrot pie. Like, Jesus Christ.
Straight man with a lot of money.
Straight male, it's like he's shit talk. It's like, Marc, you're a womanizer and a drug addict. Where do you get off?
They don't choose the life they're living because it's easy. They choose it because it's who they are. So somehow that courage is not as impressive to this culture as the courage to speak freely about marginalizing those people.
Marginalize.
That takes real courage. Hey, can I say what I want? Yeah, sure. Go ahead, say whatever you want. Shit on the people that are more marginalized than anybody.
Marginalize.
About marginalizing those people.
Marginalize.
More marginalized than anybody. I'm not going to play the sort of cultural hot point game in order to try to get attention.
A cultural hotspot to seek attention. Oh, just like you're doing, Mark, right now with your clip talking about the hot button issue that you haven't even seen?
Oh, I have not seen the last special or the last three specials.
You know, and okay, fine. Maron doesn't have to see it, but he says he didn't watch the special, right? And he's got all these you know things planned out to say, right?
Like somebody woke up in the morning and decided, man, these gay people and trans people, they've really got it easy, and I'm going to use my courage
And he can say whatever he wants. We all can. But shouldn't his fans be like, dude, wait, what the fuck? You didn't even watch it? What are you talking about?
Oh, I have not seen the last special or the last three specials.
Oh, I have not seen the last special or the last three specials. Oh, I have not seen the last special or the last three specials.
Like, his whole feed should have been like, what? What are you talking about? It's just my opinion.
Okay, I'm not going to see the wrong tip.
So this video came from Marc Maron's Instagram. He posted it. It was like a live stream. It's an hour long. Talks about Chappelle for like 7 minutes. It's hilarious. It's hysterical. It's not supposed to be. I highly recommend checking it out.
That takes real courage. Hey, can I say what I want? Yeah, sure. Go ahead, say whatever you want. Shit on the people that are more marginalized than anybody.
Marginalize.
Sounds pretty courageous.
I believe it starts around 36 minutes in. So by all means, check that out. And if you're wondering why I haven't shit-talked Dave Chappelle, I'm working on that video now. So just bear with me. And if you made it all the way through to this point now, hit like, hit subscribe. Or don't. I mean, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, all right?